And the big story we're tracking this morning, more signs that Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi might have returned from his 58-day-long sabbatical. Reports say that Sonia Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi have arrived at Rahul Gandhi's residence. These are pictures on your screens. So there is still no official word on whether or not Rahul is back. Sources say that Rahul is now in Delhi but not at his residences yet. There's also no information as to where the Congress Vice President was all this time. Where was he holidaying? Of course, there have been lots of speculation about countries that he's been holidaying in. Rahul Gandhi went on a sabbatical ahead of the budget session of Parliament. The time of his leave has been criticised by the opposition. Of course, he's also been under fire from some leaders within his own party. Let's get in a word from our consulting editor Rajdeep Sardesai, who's with us on the phone line. Rajdeep, it seems that Rahul Gandhi is finally back.
Yes, it appears that Rahul Gandhi is finally back. All the speculation of whether, when and where Rahul will return is over. We still don't know where he went, which will remain a matter of speculation. And predictably, the first two people who've gone to meet him are his mother and sister. Because one of the charges and criticisms of the way the Congress party is functioning at the moment and functioning for a while yet is it functions like a complete family party where decisions are taken, it appears, at the dinner table in 10 Janpat or at Rahul's residence in Tughlaq Road. And this is where the congressmen, many congressmen, are incensed and are reflecting their sense of anger that they are being kept completely in the dark as to what is actually happening in the mind of Rahul Gandhi and in the mind of the Congress leadership. So I think that secrecy, this veil of secrecy will have to be lifted sooner rather than later if the Congress is to recover any kind of morale of its workers. So this meeting, private meeting which seems to be going on at Rahul Gandhi's residence on his arrival doesn't include any senior Congress leaders for now. It only includes the family. So it almost appears as if it's family first and then the party as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned.
Absolutely, Raji, but as you're pointing out, there's a veil of secrecy around Rahul Gandhi's entire sabbatical. The fact that no one knows where exactly he went is also something that's been questioned by leaders within his own party. It probably suggests a kind of discomfort that he has with being a public figure under so much scrutiny.
Well, that could be one explanation. It's not as if other Congress leaders in the family, including Sonia Gandhi, have also not maintained this kind of veil of secrecy. When Sonia has gone abroad for medical reasons, there's also been a similar secretive atmosphere created around it. But the fact is that Rahul Gandhi is expected to lead the Congress party in this budget session of Parliament. He was expected to take charge of the party's stand on the land acquisition bill, something that he claimed credit for at some stage. He was expected in the aftermath of the Lok Sabha debacle to give the party direction. The worry is that he has failed to give any kind of direction to the Congress party. And that is where this veil of secrecy, which in times when you are in power can actually work to your advantage, when you are in opposition, actually works to your disadvantage, because what the congressmen are looking for at the moment is a visible sense of direction and leadership. You can't have an invisible Rahul Gandhi leading a party which is in absolute distress and, to quote Sambit Patra, in the worst position that it has been since 1947. So Rahul Gandhi has not just to surface now, he has to surface and show some signs of taking charge. Otherwise, as some congressmen are suggesting, he should opt out and give space either to Sister Priyanka or anyone else that the Congress party chooses as its leader.
Absolutely. And Rajdeep, of course, not just Sambit Patra, there have been statements from Sheila Dixit and Captain Amrinder Singh as well. There is a faction within the Congress party which is perhaps a little uncomfortable with this veil of secrecy that Rahul Gandhi has surrounded himself with. They, of course, want him to come out and take charge of the leadership if he intends to.
I don't even think that they want him to take charge. They want Sonia Gandhi to take charge. I think the chorus within the Congress that you're hearing at the moment is that they want Sonia to be more proactive. They believe Sonia is the kind of leader who can galvanize the coalition partners, who can actually bring in allies from outside the original UPA. She has the charisma and she commands a certain level of respect for the fact that she has stayed the course even through good times and bad. On the other hand, Rahul Gandhi has given the impression that he simply doesn't have the stomach for a fight. And that's why I think you're hearing the kind of comments from various leaders suggesting that Sonia Gandhi remain the Congress president and that Rahul Gandhi remain the apprentice and really prove himself and earn the respect of the Congress party. He really is, Simi, possibly the first leader of the Gandhi-Nehru family in a long while who doesn't even command the respect of the Congress party. So his becoming party president, as is being speculated, will perhaps have to wait a while till he actually proves that he is deserving of the post of Congress president.
Absolutely. And Rajdeep, that statement that came from Sheila Dikshit a couple of days ago where she said that Sonia Gandhi doesn't run away from responsibilities. She has the intention and the capability of leading the party. Also hinting at the fact that it was only after Rahul Gandhi went in a sabbatical that Sonia Gandhi came back to the helm of affairs, where she led that march along with all opposition leaders against the NDA government's land acquisition bill. She marched up to the Rashtrapati Bhavan, really bringing the focus back on the opposition in a way.
That's right. Over the years, since Sonia Gandhi took over as the Congress president, replacing Sitaram Kesri in what some would call a bloodless coup in 1998, at least over the last 17 years, she's at least shown the willingness to hit the road every now and then. Rahul Gandhi's problem is that Rahul Gandhi has simply dipped in and out of politics. His has been the flirtation. Some have called it even an item number in politics, where you come in, do the occasional bhatta parsol and then disappear. Now, this disappearing act of 58 days is almost unprecedented in Indian politics. What is strange is no one, including the media, seems to have a clue as to where and what Rahul Gandhi was really up to. We hope to know more now that he has returned. But I think, look at it from a Congress perspective. The CEO disappears for almost 8 weeks at a time when the company's fortunes are sinking, and the company doesn't know who their next leader is going to be. So Sonia Gandhi, who in a sense has been the chairperson of this company for the last 17 years, had really no option but to step into the vacuum. But I'm not sure whether Sonia Gandhi's health really allows her to lead a sustained agitation as a leader of the opposition. So that opposition space is being vacated. We've seen what happened in the Delhi elections, where Arvind Kejriwal emerged as the face to combat the BJP. We saw what happened yesterday, where the Janata Party, the old Janata Party, is coming together, and the likes of Lalu and Nitish are now going to be the face of the fight against Modi in Bihar. So where is Rahul Gandhi in all this? What does Rahul Gandhi stand for? What issues is he willing to take up on a sustained basis? These are questions which congressmen are asking. And I would say 90 to 95% of congressmen believe that Rahul Gandhi now either shapes up or frankly ships out. They won't say it publicly, but that's actually what they are hinting at when they say that they are far more comfortable with Sonia Gandhi as their leader.
Absolutely. Rajdeep, stay on with us. Let's also get a word from BJP's Sambit Patra, who's with us on the phone line. Sambit, your favorite punching bag seems to be back now.
No, I would not say he's a favorite punching bag of Sambit Patra or the Bharatiya Janata Party, but definitely it appears that Rahul Gandhi is now the favorite punching bag, a secret favorite punching bag of the Congress leaders nowadays. And I would definitely say to whatever is happening now is theater of absurd, I mean, look, after all these days of vanishing act that Rahul Gandhi has done, as Rajdeep was rightly pointing out, he has returned for an item number very recently. Probably that would be a Kisan March. And who knows, even after that he may vanish. So it's absolutely, I would say that Rahul Gandhi is an enigmatic leader, not a charismatic one. He is an enigma. No one knows what he would do the next moment, and that's not the way the Indian politics would surely like him to be. And moreover, the most important issue is, more than anything else, he is a member of parliament. So definitely he has answering to do to his people who have selected him to the post of member of parliament. So this is not the way he should be behaving towards his constituency.
All right, and Sambit Patra, does the BJP want Rahul Gandhi to be appointed president of the Congress? Do you think that Rahul Gandhi will be able to provide good enough opposition to a powerful BJP at the centre?
No, it is not for the BJP to offer any kind of suggestions or advice to the Congress party as to who should be their leader, who should be their president. But definitely going by the kind of comments that we have been listening from various tall leaders of Congress, it is quite clear that probably there is a sense of confusion as far as Congress leaders and Congress party is concerned, whether they really want Rahul Gandhi to stay as a part-time politician or not.
All right. Sambit Patra putting it very well there, saying that it's up to the Congress to decide whether or not they want a part-time politician. Sambit, stay on with us. Let's also get a word from our executive editor, Javed Ansari, who's with us live from outside Rahul Gandhi's residence. Javed Ansari, what are you seeing happening around you?
Well, right now, not too much is happening. About half an hour ago, 25 minutes ago, Priyanka Gandhi drove in. Right behind me is Mr. Rahul Gandhi's residence. Earlier, about an hour and a half ago, Mr. Sonia Gandhi drove in. What we can confirm to our viewers is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has arrived back. Headlines Today was the first to break this news, and that he arrived in the early hours of this morning. Right now, Rahul Gandhi is inside his 12 Tughlaq Road residence, as is his mother and his sister Priyanka Gandhi.
All right, so it seems that Rahul Gandhi is now back at his residence along with his mother, Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. Javed Ansari, there was also a bit of speculation about, there's still no clarity on which country he was visiting. Any word on that?
There's no word on that, on where he had gone and where he's come back from. What we are told is that in the course of the day, the Congress party will put out an official statement confirming Mr. Rahul Gandhi's arrival back in the country. More than that, we don't know. We are still trying to find out where Rahul Gandhi had gone and which country he's returned from.
All right, Javed Ansari, stay on with us. Let's also get a word from our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai, who's with us in our studios this morning. Rajdeep, the focus, of course, as far as today's political developments go, will be on Rahul Gandhi's return. People will be talking about where he was for all these 58 long days. And of course, what is on his agenda after he comes back? Will he now be elevated to the post of president despite the opposition that we've seen from a section of the Congress party?
Look, I think at the end of the day, the first thing that we need to know is what does Mr. Rahul Gandhi want to do with his life? You know, for 56 days or 58 days, he's done this disappearing act. He's claimed it's a private visit, it's for introspection. Now, that's all very well. The fact is that Rahul Gandhi is in public life. Now, people in public life do not have the luxury of going on 58-day vacation. You and I don't have that luxury of going on 58-day vacation without informing either our team members or our leadership as to where we are. So, first thing Mr. Rahul Gandhi needs to do is take his party into confidence. Forget about the media. At least he needs to tell them what are his next plans. Is he intending to attend parliament on a regular basis? Is he going to take part in this big land acquisition rally which is being planned for the 17th? Is he for the 19th? Is he going to be someone who is going to play an active role? Does he want to be party president in May, or is he willing to wait his turn? These are all questions to which Mr. Rahul Gandhi needs to give answers. This veil of silence must end. This is, you know, the problem with the Congress party is it has now become a party where decisions are taken on the dinner table with Rahul, Sonia and Priyanka. Now, that was okay when you were in power, but now you're in the opposition. You need to galvanize your workers who are dispirited after their Lok Sabha defeat. And Rahul, frankly, in the last 8 months has done nothing, which would suggest that he's in a mood to galvanize his party cadres. And unless he's willing to do that, I don't think he's going to earn the respect of his party. So it's one thing to say that, you know, when will he be president? Will he be president? Maybe that post is reserved for him. That's the way the Congress party is, the dynastical democracy that we've become as far as the Congress party has become. But what about answers to these critical questions from a party perspective? I don't think we still have any answers, Simi, that Rahul Gandhi has provided. So these images, in a sense, everything reflect the problem of the predicament of the Congress party. Everything is taking place behind closed doors. Every decision will be taken in the family room or the family dinner table. That's really not how modern political parties are expected to function.
Absolutely, that veil of secrecy needs to now finally be lifted. Let's also get a word from Javed Ansari, executive editor, who's with us live from the national capital. He's in fact outside Rahul Gandhi's residence there. Javed Ansari, any reaction from all these leaders who are hitting out at Rahul Gandhi, criticizing him from disappearing from the political scene in the capital?
Well, not as of now. Not as of now. Right now, people are just absorbing this news, sitting back and soaking it in, waiting for Mr. Rahul Gandhi to say something. Sometime in the course of the day, an official statement will be put out, and so till they've been able to take in the news, till they hear from the party, there's very little that was coming out from the Congress leaders as of now.
All right, let's also get a word from BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra, who's with us on the phone line. Sambit Patra, do you feel that the Congress right now is facing a credibility or a leadership crisis of sorts? Do you think that Rahul Gandhi is failing to lead the Congress party and provide it with the kind of leadership that it needs right now?
No, definitely. There's no doubt in the fact that there is a credibility, there is a leadership crunch today in the Congress, in the sense that, look, Rahul Gandhi today is in the news for a very wrong reason. He is in the news today for the fact that he has reappeared. Can you just imagine ever in Indian politics where this would have been a point of discussion, that one of the top leaders of the party had vanished for 58 days and he has reappeared, and that's the reason as to why he's in news. When the opposition top leaders should have been in news for shaping the policy of the country, for deliberating on the policies of the country. We are here, an opposition leader vanishing, going on a vacation, as Azif was rightly pointing out. None of us, none of the politicians, or leave aside politicians, none of the bureaucrats or people who are in public life have the right of doing this vanishing act. And here we have the Vice President of Congress, a member of Parliament who represents the constituency of the country, who had not given any kind of information to his constituency, to the party people, to the media people, and he has simply vanished. And today he is in news. The whole day the channels would be discussing him just because of the fact that the Rahul Gandhi has made an appearance finally. And I would say that, look, this is nothing but withering away of the dynasty. From Nehru to Rahul, we are seeing as to how gradually the dynasty is withering away, and this is the final nail in the coffin.
Sambit, are you saying that as far as you and the BJP are concerned, you don't take Rahul Gandhi as a serious contender?
No,
or a serious politician?
No, it's not that what BJP or what we all do. The most important issue is what the people of this country consider. Because in politics, the most important stakeholder are the people of this country. Ask anyone on the street, does anyone take Rahul Gandhi seriously? We are no one to advise the Congress. We are no one to, in fact, measure the importance of Rahul Gandhi as far as he is a Congress leader. But the people of this country today, the media of this country today does not take, the parliament of this country today, and above all his constituency itself does not take Rahul Gandhi seriously anymore.
You know, Sambit Patra, I think in a sense is reflecting, Simi, what at the moment is the sense within not just the BJP but other political parties as well. They're also wondering that how is the Congress party functioning in this vacuum? And the reason why Sonia Gandhi really has had to step in and try and lead and provide some kind of direction to the Congress is because otherwise the party is today in a complete mess. With Rahul Gandhi unwilling to really either take charge or give the or even tell his own party as to what he intends to do. I mean, this was a crucial budget session. Now we have the second half of the budget session. Is Rahul Gandhi going to attend Parliament every day? We still don't know. And I think until this mystery remains over what exactly Mr. Rahul Gandhi wants to do, is he the reluctant politician or is he the rebellious politician who is angry with his mother that his mother didn't agree to some of his demands and therefore in a sulk has walked away? Now you can't sulk you can sulk as a schoolboy, but you can't sulk if you want to become the next Prime Minister of the country. So was Rahul Gandhi on a 58-day sulk? Was he on a 58-day holiday? Or has he galvanized himself, done Vipassana, embraced Thailand or Laos or wherever he has gone and come back recharged? Now, the next 2 months, next 3 months will tell us that. There's a hot summer ahead. Is Rahul Gandhi going to spend this summer on the streets of this country? Is he going to do some padiyatra as we are being told by some congressmen? Or will he again go to the cooler climes of Europe? You know, there's so much of skepticism, Simi, about Rahul Gandhi. Whenever I go and address young students taking my book on the elections, whenever I raise the issue of Rahul Gandhi has never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity, whenever I say that, people start laughing. Now, whenever you become a figure of ridicule, whenever people start laughing the moment your name is mentioned, then you've got a serious credibility crisis. And it's not just Sambit Patra who reflects that. The crisis is reflected in the laughs that I hear from the younger generation who all voted, or large numbers voted last time for Narendra Modi and not for Rahul Gandhi.
Absolutely. And Javed Ansari, is this also a sense within the Congress party that Rahul Gandhi has today become a subject of ridicule?
I'm not so sure if publicly at least they will say, but they certainly believe that Rahul Gandhi has huge credibility issues. They believe that there are big question marks over Rahul Gandhi's ability, about his temperament, about his commitment, whether he has it in him, whether he has the wherewithal, the stamina to stick it out, the stomach for a fight to get his hands dirty. Politics is a 24/7 job, and even in his party, people are now beginning to question whether Rahul Gandhi has that kind of commitment, has that kind of temperament to give it his all 24/7. This there cannot be a work-life balance in politics, unfortunately. So therefore, these are questions that Rahul Gandhi has to address, and he has to address not just through words, but also through deeds. Like Rajdeep was saying, the next couple of months are going to be a make or break situation for Rahul Gandhi. He has to demonstrate and visibly demonstrate that he's a changed person, that he's willing to recast and remold himself, and he has it in him to last the distance.
Absolutely. And Rajdeep, would you see that over the last 58 days, we've seen a regrouping of sorts in the Congress party? Just days after Rahul Gandhi went on this sabbatical, we saw that rally addressed by Jairam Ramesh, Ahmed Patel, and the top leaders of the Congress party came out in the streets and addressed a farmers' rally at Jantar Mantar, following which there have been subsequent rallies by Sonia Gandhi as well. Was there a regrouping of sorts after Rahul's disappearance?
I don't think there was a regrouping. The Congress had no choice. I mean, the land acquisition bill is a bill which they piloted, they brought through. Rahul Gandhi also claims that he has his own imprimatur on this bill. Now he disappears. The party has to continue fighting politics, or they might as well become an NGO and disappear. So as a political party, they have no choice. The Digvijay Singhs and the Jairam Rameshes have no choice but to stay the course. Rahul Gandhi perhaps has that luxury which they don't have. And that is why now we need to see whether Rahul Gandhi will paratroop suddenly and parachute himself into that rally on the 19th and tell us where he stands on this critical issue of land acquisition. Is he going to lead some kind of a Padyatra, as I said earlier, and take up this issue across the country? Because frankly, and Javed is right, this is an opportunity. Look, Narendra Modi is India's leader number one. But every leader, also every strong democracy needs a strong opposition. Is that opposition going to be provided by Mr. Kejriwal? Mr. Kejriwal says for the next 5 years, I am governing Delhi. Is that opposition going to be provided by the Janata Parivar? They say our focus is Bihar. So there is a vacuum at a national level. Now, is Rahul Gandhi capable of filling that vacuum? In politics, you always get one more chance. I think Rahul Gandhi possibly has this one last chance now. If he doesn't fulfill it in the next 3 months, if he is unable to provide a sense of direction, and importantly, I thought Sandeep Dixit in an interview to Times of India today made an interesting point that some congressmen feel Rahul Gandhi should become the president of the UP Congress. Spend the next 2 years, 2017 February are the next elections in UP, make UP your karma bhumi as he claims it is, and work there. Make it your, your single point agenda, because you can't return to the to power at the center without rebuilding your party in UP. Now, does Rahul Gandhi, is he willing to move to Lucknow for the next 2 years and face this battle in UP? These are questions that Mr. Rahul Gandhi only can answer. You and I can only speculate. But so far, I'm afraid, as I keep saying, he has never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
All right, Rajdeep and Javed Ansari, stay on with us. We'll take a short break here. All eyes today on Rahul Gandhi. Will he address a press conference? Will he come out and explain to the people of his party, the workers of his party and the leaders where he was for the last 58 days and what he was doing?